This week on The Destination Angler.
What we are most famous we do have this baitfish hatch. When the small baitfish enters the rivers, then the magic will happen, because these big brown trouts, the 25, 30-inch fish, when they start to hunt these baitfish, that's the best fly fishing for trout you can ever imagine.
Oh my gosh.
Even this day, I get so excited about it.
That was Jani Himanko on this magical place called TroutLand in central Finland. Yeah, if you would you please hit that subscribe button and share the podcast with a buddy? Thank you. Welcome to the Destination Angler Podcast, the podcast for anglers who travel. And I'm your host, Steve Haigh. We go right to the source, the local guides and experts, to build your knowledge of top fishing locations around North America. It's a big world out there. Now go and fish it.
I'm going away for a while, but I'll be back soon. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey anglers, welcome back to another episode of The Destination Angler, brought to you by Anglers Coffee, fueling your next cast with amazing coffee delivered to your doorstep, one batch at a time. Get started today and save 20%. By Got Fishing, crafting world-class fly fishing adventures specially designed to your level of experience and budget. By Trout Routes, the #1 fishing app helping trout anglers avoid the crowds and explore new public water. Download it in the App Store today and get 20% off using promo code DESTINATION20. And by Adams Built Fishing Gear, the trusted source for quality fly fishing gear built to last at an affordable price. Up next on The Destination Angler, we journey to Montana to check out the spring creeks around Lewiston. Then we have an incredible episode on roosterfish from the surf on the Baja Peninsula. And be sure to backcast to catch the last episode, Smashing Dry Flies on the St. Joe River with Tyler Nash, White Pine Outfitters, Moscow, Idaho. The St. Joe is renowned for its gin-clear water, rugged beauty, and unforgettable dry fly fishing for iconic West Slope cutthroat trout. You won't want to miss these shows. And today our destination is TroutLand region of central Finland. Yes, that is a real place for giant brown trout. And our guest is Hall of Fame fly angler Jani Himanko, owner of the world-famous Kellankoski Lodge. Central Finland is home to some of the best fly fishing in Europe. Here, anglers will find great food and the happiest people on the planet. No joke. Not to mention brown trout the size of your leg. As Jani says, we don't take pictures of 20-inch fish here. As a 25-year veteran of the industry, Jani was inducted into the Finnish Fishing Hall of Fame in 2023. He writes for several local hunting and fishing magazines and is a regular on fishing TV shows over there in Finland. And he's fished all over the world, including Russia, Argentina, Greenland, Cuba, Gambia, just to name a few. Today, Jani makes the case for why you should come all the way to Finland and share stories of Arctic char, pike, and sea-run browns, fishing in Greenland, Norway, and the Kota Peninsula in Russia, the famous surfboard fly, and of course, the problem with those Russian helicopters. Stick around to the end for a great story of why in the world Jani landed a fish with a fly rod in his mouth. So how does reindeer for dinner and a sauna sound? Let's head to Finland and find out. Jani, welcome to the show.
Very happy to be with you here.
Very good. Well, we're going to hear all about Finland and Kotavesi. I think I'm saying that right, the area you call TroutLand. But first, okay, I was doing a little reading about your country, and one thing I read about Finland, for the 6th year in a row, it's been named the happiest country in the world. Did you know that?
Yeah, of course. All the paper keeps writing about it, and then of course some people are complaining about it that we are not that happy.
Is that right? Not true, huh? We're not happy. No, I'm sure you are. What do you make of that though? Why do you suppose you keep getting this happiness award?
I'm not sure about it because I haven't studied that much about it, but I think it's because we don't really have the corruption. The crime rate is kind of low.
Okay.
I keep my front door open. Well, we have 2 dogs, which helps.
Yeah.
But it's very safe country to be. That might be the one thing. And then we have, the universities. It's basically free. It's not totally free, but it's basically free. You don't have to pay tens of thousands of dollars to get to university. It's basically the government pays for you if you go to university. The doctors are basically free. The healthcare, that's one thing. And I think for me, it's like this is a safe country to live, very clean, no pollution. But of course, we have long winters, long dark winters, and
Long,
cold.
dark winters. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I'll bet.
and you mentioned that the Finland is the happiest country in the world. Today, when I had my morning tea, I read from the paper that also during the last 7 months, the Finland is officially also the coldest
Oh,
country in the world.
okay.
So
So
I'm not that
freezing
happy
people.
about it. It's
Yeah.
freezing cold. Like this past winter was so cold, and now it's, I don't know how to describe in Fahrenheit, but it's half colder than it used to be at this time of the year. It's so cold. It's supposed to be like the t-shirt, shorts weathers at the moment. But that I have on the other hand, that's very good for brown trout. The brown trout, they
Yeah.
don't really like to heat waves, so I'm happy about that. But we have a lot of water, a lot of cold air at the moment. Like the temperatures are, I'm freezing here.
It's cold. All right. So the other thing I noticed about in your bio, Jani, is that you have fished all over the world, and a couple places really jumped out at me. One of them is Greenland. What were you fishing for in Greenland?
Char, Arctic char. Sea
Arctic.
run. Yeah, sea run Arctic chars. It's that was a blast. I've been there a couple of times actually.
Pretty good.
It's good. It's too good.
Too good. What do you mean too good?
Well, first of all, the scenery. It's amazing. I haven't been in a place like that. It's amazing scenery. It's so beautiful, so nice. There's nobody in there. It's a dream place to be. But there's always a but. The fishing is it's fun for 1 or 2 days. But
Yeah.
if you want, you can hook 100 or 200 char a day with the
Oh my
fly rod.
gosh. Okay, I see what you mean.
So it's getting a little bit boring. But then the challenge would be like, then you try to find a holes which doesn't hold that many fish. You try to find the bigger ones. So the sport of it is trying to find the pools that doesn't hold so many smaller, like 2 pound fish. Try to find the pools which holds like 8 pound fish, 10 pound fish, 6, 7 pound fish, not those small ones. Yeah, but
Okay.
usually it goes like you cast your fly and you try to cast the fly to the deeper bank where the bigger ones are. And if you fail that, every cast you will hook this like 1, 2 pound char.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So it's very fun for 1 or 2 days to get like 20 char in a row. But 7 days, I would say it's too much. But I would say it's kind of like once in a lifetime trip. I
Try
would
it.
recommend, try it and see the place, see the Greenland. Once in a lifetime. I did it twice because I was filming this TV show twice there. So like last summer they were doing another episode from Greenland, but I didn't go.
You
I
did.
did
Okay.
two times enough, and also because I'm pretty busy at the lodge in the
Yeah.
summertime.
All right, so let me ask you, the other place I know you fished was your neighbor. You border Russia. And where have you fished in Russia, and what's it like over there?
Kota Peninsula like 20 times. Maybe
Oh,
it's
really?
salmon rivers and brown trout rivers. They have probably the best known brown trout rivers in the world and best known salmon rivers in the world. Actually, the brown trout fishing in Kota Peninsula, it's very similar to our place. The techniques are the same, the fish are the same, the fisheries are the same. Well, the rivers are longer and bigger in Russia. The pools are like the pools could be like a 2 mile pool. We have
2
like half,
miles.
2 miles,
Wow.
just fantastic brown trout water. We have a very similar fishing. It's as good as it's in there, but our pool could be like half mile or quarter mile. So,
It's still huge.
but it's different. We are like this is like smaller scale Kola Peninsula, I would say that. But it's also that it's much more safe to be in Finland than in Russia.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you don't have to fly with the Russian helicopter.
You've done that.
Too many times. And I have a lot of friends. I made a lot of friends there, and I have some Russian friends also. I have friends all over the world who I've been fishing with there. And I told to my Finnish friends that, okay, I think because this war situation now, nobody wants to go to Russia anymore. Nobody wants to bring their money to Russia anymore. And we've been thinking about maybe in 10 years from here, we could go again. And then I was thinking that there's no way that I'm gonna put my foot in the Russian MA8 helicopter ever again, because I fly so many times. I flew so many times with those machines, and they're like Ladas, these Russian old cars. They work well, but they are shit. They are crap. So
Is that right?
I think I used my chances already.
Okay.
So
All right. Enough.
I have so many scary experiences.
Really? In a Russian helicopter. Not fun, huh?
Yeah, it's not fun when it could be overload, or they try to save money, and and they fly like 3 camps at the same time, like 30 people in one helicopter, it's full of stuff. Or sometimes it's horrible weather, but the pilots are professionals. They are
Yeah.
so good pilots, the old veterans of Russia. They have a lot of wars to choose from where they pick their veterans, because they like to go to war. They like to attack people.
I guess they do.
So to speak. But yeah, they do. That's their main hobby.
It seems to be. Jani, so how far are you where are you today, and how far are you from the Arctic Circle?
Around 5 hours.
5 hours from the
5
Arctic
hours
Circle.
from here is the Arctic Circle. 5
Okay.
hours drive, yeah.
So that sounds pretty remote, but so tell me, why should somebody come all the way to Finland? Not just to TroutLand, but just to Finland in general to fish. What's the attraction?
Well, in Finland, the best fishing in Finland, we have a long country. When you look at the map, the Finland, it's way different in Helsinki than it's in Nuorgam and up north, or Kilpisjärvi, which is left side, east side north. In the north, we have few salmon rivers, but those salmon rivers, they're not doing that well. We have Simo River, and River Torniojoki. They are at the moment maybe the best salmon rivers in Finland. They are north, the southern Lapland. And then we have this River Tana, Teno in Finnish, and that used to be the best Atlantic salmon river in the world. But now it's closed for fishing because the numbers get so bad.
Even over there, huh?
Yeah, the main thing is that these Atlantic salmons, they are getting harvested at the sea also, and also the fishing pressure at the rivers. It's been too much in people. Back in the day, especially the people, they didn't really release the Atlantic salmon. They kill them all.
They kill them all.
Yeah, now we are paying the price for that. So that river is closed, and then we have also we have the Naden, which is mostly at the Norwegian, mostly at the Norwegian side of the border, and also the Tana is part. It starts from Norway and then it goes to Finland side of the border, but that's north. But in Finnish Lapland, the best fishing at the moment is grayling fishing. You could go there, and the northern grayling, and that's good fishing there. Big 2-3 pound graylings are there, and especially if you go close to Norway and Sweden, and actually sometimes you have to cross the border to Norway or Sweden. But in the Lapland, the best fishing at the moment, that's the grayling fishing. It's very good grayling fishing, and then you go down from there. You hit the central Finland, where we are, this TroutLand, like we call this, and then we have this brown trout, of course, because that's the official fish of the area, and we have a long traditions here, and we also have some grayling, but the brown trout here, and also we have this, of course, pike, northern pike,
Okay.
and sander, which is like your walleye.
Okay.
We have a lot of these sanders, and then of course, and then birch, this striped basic fish.
A type of a European perch. They look a little bigger than our perch.
Yeah, European perch, and we have that. And And when we talk about TroutLand, the central Finland, it's because especially here in Konnevesi region, the trout habitat is good. It's not excellent. It could be better, but it's best in Finland. It's best in Scandinavia, and I would claim that it's best in Europe at the moment, because we have the big fish and we have numbers and we have the size. So we are doing fine, and we just try to keep the minimum fishing pressure, not to fish too much. So
Okay.
that's the way to handle, and very strict rules, and not that much net fishing, and so on and so on. And anyway, so now we go the south from central Finland. We go southern parts of Finland, and then it's I think southern parts of Finland. The main thing is pike fishing. They have very large pike, and it's very popular there. It's this pike fishing and European perch. That's also very famous and very popular in southern parts of Finland. Also some gander, aka walleye, and also what we have at the west coast and south coast of Finland. A little bit also the southeast coast. We have this sea-run brown trout,
Oh, good.
which runs in we have this Baltic Sea. It's not ocean. It's a very small part of the Atlantic Ocean. It's more like a mix between the freshwater and salt water. But we call it Baltic Sea. And then we have this sea-run brown trout. That's spring and fall time. That's getting bigger and bigger. And also the populations of the fish are getting better and better.
Yeah.
But other parts in Finland, and central Finland and Lapland, the brown trout are doing that very well. Yeah.
Okay. Can I get in a car and drive?
Yeah, of course. You can get in the car and drive. Most of our clients, they fly to Helsinki, and then they rent a car, and then they would drive from Helsinki to our lodge. And we had one client last summer. Actually, he was from Keys, Florida Keys,
Oh,
and he came. He escaped, the heat wave. So he
okay.
came here, and he and his wife they stayed at Porvoo, which is very close to Helsinki, and they had a car. They drove to Porvoo, half an hour drive, and they stayed there for like 2 days, and they were just they were staying at the one cottage and fishing for pike by themselves, and then they drove from there. They drove to our place, which is like 3 hour drive, a little bit less than,
Okay.
yeah, and then they fished here 4 days, and then they went home. And that's really basic. And most of our clients, they fly to Helsinki, and then they drive this plus minus 3 hours from Helsinki to here. And some also they drive from here to Arctic Circle to Lapland. It's 5, 6, 7 hours.
You can drive there.
Yeah, you can drive. It's easy to drive.
Okay.
Every summer I go there. I drive this 10-hour drive to Lapland and go fishing somewhere, Sweden, Norway, Finland. And like I was fishing a month ago, Norway. I drove 11 hours to Norway's in Lapland to fish
Okay.
with my very good Sami friend Piera.
What were you fishing for?
We were fishing at the Finnmark region, Mollisjok. We were fishing for grayling and char and trout.
Oh, you were? Okay. How'd you do?
Yeah, ice fishing, but that's ice fishing because it
Oh,
was
ice
full wind.
fishing.
Yeah, ice fishing. No. At that time, it's like over 3 foot of ice on the
3
water.
foot. So I think I saw a picture of you on Instagram with no shirt on ice fishing, and I'm kind of wondering what was going on there.
That's another trip. But yeah, when you go there like late April, May, it could be very warm, like 70 Fahrenheit, but still winter, and it's pretty nice.
Okay, so it was warm out. Okay, good. I thought maybe you'd lost your mind for a minute in the middle of winter, took your shirt off.
No, I lost my mind when I born.
Hey, folks, Angler's Coffee wants to fuel your next cast with great coffee delivered to your doorstep, one batch at a time. Anglers has been hard at work making great new coffee blends, such as the Stimulator Blend. This high-octane coffee has a delicious smoky flavor with 25% more caffeine. Sometimes you just need a little extra kick in the morning before you wet a line. Or how about the Rainbow Blend? Colorful and bright, this medium roast draws inspiration from the vibrant traits of the iconic fish. Much like the rainbow trout's vivid hues, you'll experience flavor reminiscent of the brilliant colors the trout is named for. And if you like it dark and bold, check out the Brown Trout Blend. This roast brings the spirit of the elusive brown trout with rich, dark chocolate notes, boldly intertwined with subtle smokiness, mirroring the rugged landscapes of the deep waters where brown trout thrive. And with every sip of Angler's Coffee, you support great conservation groups and charities such as the Mayfly Project. So head on over to anglerscoffee.com and fuel up today. Take 20% off your first subscription order by entering the code BREW20 at checkout. With so much information out there, it can get darn right confusing and even overwhelming to find the right fishing adventure. Sorting through all the options and fees can be quite the headache. Well, not anymore. I'm super excited to introduce Got Fishing. Got Fishing is a boutique booking agency for world-class fishing adventures around the world. They ensure that you are on the exact fishing trip that meets your skill level, budget, and desired experience. Whether you're a seasoned angler or new to the sport, Got Fishing's personalized service will help you decide which adventure is the best fit for you, your group, or even your business. Worried about fees? Worry no more. With Got Fishing, you won't pay anything extra because their services are entirely free for you. You see, Got Fishing exclusively partners with highly reputable outfitters who gladly compensate them for their services, ensuring a win-win situation. Explore the range of fishing adventures and learn more about the services Got Fishing provides at gotfishing.com. That's www.gotfishing.com. And check them out on Instagram too. All right, so tell me, Jani, if I'm coming to your lodge, like, what should I expect in terms of the fishing? Like, tell me about the rivers that you're fishing. It looks like there are a bunch of lakes that are connected by rivers and rapids, or tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have like this river system that we are at the moment where we have this lodge. It's we have a big lake, when this all started. It's the Etelä-Konnevesi Lake. It's big lake. It's crystal clear, like 20 feet. You can see the bottom when it's like 20 feet deep. You can still see the bottom.
Yeah,
and it's clear water. And then there's a first very famous spot called Siikakoski. That's the place where your ex-president Jimmy Carter, for example, went fishing when he came to Finland. They went there with that's very famous. Also, we call that president's place because that's the place where all the back in the day, our president, for example, he kept that river as his, not his own, but he spent all his free time there fishing.
Why is it so famous? Besides the fact that presidents go there, is it just?
It's very good. It's because it's the first rapid of the after the big lake. So it produced so much brown trout. It's might be the most productive rapid in Finland for brown trout.
Interesting. So you target rapids. Target rapids then. Okay.
Yeah. That area, that's like, it's a little bit different fishing than some other parts because we are fishing in a very hard current sometimes, especially in the summertime. And for that place, they have like it's like a quarter mile in length, and they have like how you call that, like 300 spawning spots. They calculate the places where the fish been spawning, and they found there's around 300 in that place. So that's quite a lot because it's not a small place. Anyway, then after that is a very small lake, tiny lake. It's floating like floating through lake, and then it's Taikina in Karinkoski, another rapid. Then it's a small lake which is floating through. Then it's Kellankoski, which is right to the next bank of the lodge, and then we have Liesvesi, which is a little bit bigger lake, and then it's by car 10 minutes from here is the next place. So it's there is Yläsenkoski, then it's Keskisenkoski, Hannulankoski. They are all connected to each other, and that's our river system. But it's very typical to Finland, especially in central Finland, that all the fishing spots are between the lakes. We are fishing the spots which are located between the lakes, and that what makes it so special, and that what makes the fish big, because they go to the lakes to feed with the small fish.
Okay, so why not fish the lakes themselves?
Well, some people do, but they do mostly trolling.
Okay.
Yeah, trolling, you don't. Well, I think I know like 3 persons who go fishing, September, October, when the trout, they tend to swim very, very close to the bank. So they do try to, do some fly fishing, but the lakes are pretty big and deep.
So hard to fish them. So it's just easier to fish the rapids then, it sounds like.
Yeah, and of course more fun, rising fish and you can see what's happening, and also it's yeah, and of course it's a tradition on fly fishing that you go for the moving water and
right
traditions.
Gotcha. Well, all right, so tell me about these rapids. Like, I've looked at the videos online, so I kind of know they look like good sized rapids, and you can wade them, but it looks like you're doing some pretty long casts to fish them effectively. Kind of tell me a little bit about the character of the water there.
Well, we have so many different waters, but I would say there are all the spots, they have a deep channel in somewhere. They all have very deep channels, and of course, as a trout fisherman, the deep channel in the middle that holds the biggest fish.
Of course,
they for some reason they like to be on the edge of there somewhere, but that's what what is similar for all the spots, and they are all kind of like fast floating, fast moving water. They have nice outflows, which is very nice for dry fly fishing, and they're very, very like how I would say in English, but there are a lot of options, a lot of multi-technique places. You can do dry fly fishing, you can do streamer fishing. They all still, when I say they are all like fast water, fast moving water places, they all have their own character, and they all have their own specialities. One is wide and short, one is like narrow and long and faster, and I would say that the more narrow they are, the faster the water goes, and more wide they are, then it's like more calm and more like dry fly friendly and something like that. But they are not too bad, I would say. They are, especially if you go with the guide, the wading is kind of easy. And some spots we have these casting platforms also, these blocks, and so you don't have to wade if you don't want to wade. And then we use drift boats, of course. Some of the spots when it's wading, it's not that nice and they are too deep, then we go with the drift boats. That helps a lot. We have the only drift boats in Finland, actually.
Is that right?
In my lodge.
Okay.
Yeah, we have Mackenzie style drift boats. I bought them from Oregon, from Willy Boats, and they've been serving us for 20 years now, and they are flawless still.
It's a good boat.
Yeah.
Do you struggle finding new trout streams to explore? Tired of stumbling around country roads looking for access points? Looking to escape the crowds? Then look no further, because TroutRoutes has meticulously mapped and classified over 50,000 trout streams covering the entire lower 48, including 350,000 hand-curated public access points marked and ready for you to explore. I'm a huge fan of TroutRoutes because they make it so easy to explore new trout waters. Many times, TroutRoutes has helped me find new public water and get into fish fast. And the good folks at TroutRoutes have been busy this winter making TroutRoutes even better. Enter StreamCards 2.0, the latest iOS release that brings together more info at your fingertips by organizing data like stream flows, access laws, nearest fly shops into easily accessible tabs for every river and stream in the app. And now you can check real-time stream height and flow rates with river data from stream gauges and compare those with historical data to spot trends. Pretty cool, huh? Planning a trip? Well, you'll love the advanced filter features that let you hone in on top-rated streams, boat ramps, camping spots, and more. So what are you waiting for? Start exploring today by downloading TroutRoutes on your Apple or Android phone. Hey anglers, if you're on the hunt for fishing gear that's as tough as you are, look no further than Adams Built Fishing Gear. Since 2014, Adams Built has been the go-to choice for anglers who demand quality without breaking the bank. Their lineup of lightweight waders, high-quality nets, and meticulously designed fly boxes is second to none. But here's what really impressed me. Adams Built stands behind their products like no other. Every single item is guaranteed to last. Yep, you heard that right. And get this, Adams Built waders even come with a lifetime repair replace guarantee, with you only paying for shipping. Now that's a deal you can't beat. So why settle for gear that won't last? Make the smart choice and gear up with Adams Built fishing gear today. Ask your local dealer for Adams Built or visit www.adamsbuiltfishing.com and tell them Steve sent you from the Destination Angler podcast. Is the water public or private, or do you lease it? How's it work? It's private.
Yeah, they are totally private. And the history of this road is, the water road is that it used to be owned by the big Finnish company for like 100 years. And it was like that may be the reason why the presidents came here, because the common Joe was not allowed to come here to fish. And around, I would say 10 years ago, the county bought it. Now it's public owned. Like the county owns this water road, and I leased the water road from them.
Oh, you lease it?
Yeah. So our company, we are doing this actually like a hand in hand with the Konnevesi County, Konnevesi town. The town owns these rivers, and so, but they've been doing, a good job. They, even before I came here, they set very, very strict rules for fishing, and they because this is in Finland, the Konnevesi, people knows Konnevesi from these waters. This is their, what they're mostly proud of. It's Konnevesi. It's very famous rivers, and everybody knows that like 20 years ago, there were no chance to get the fish here. So it's very easy to keep like, it's not the cheapest place to fish in Finland. It might be the most expensive rivers in Finland to fish, but they are also, because they might be the best in Europe. So it's the reason. Even the normal everyday people in Finland, we have groups that we have students, we have doctors, we have everyone. It's not luxury still.
Okay.
But the fishing is very good. But they are private. Long story about.
Okay, so it's private water. I'm wondering, if I'm an average guy in Finland, can I find places to fish for brown trout in Finland without having to pay a bunch of money?
Easily.
Okay.
Yeah, easily, especially in central Finland. But then you might have to go to places which are a little bit crowded, because it's very, very popular in Finland, in central Finland especially, because this is the area of brown trout. This is like a Montana of Finland. So go figure. So very famous. And you can find, I think the cheapest places you can go for 20 euros a day, 20, 30 euros a day. You can go fishing for brown trout.
Okay. You do have to pay a little bit to go fishing.
Yeah, a little bit. You can't go for free. No.
Oh, interesting.
You have to pay a little bit. And I would say we have like at least 50 places to go in central Finland. In very small area. Yeah, the most of the all the best places are a little bit more expensive, and it's very limited. Like we don't fish every day here.
Anything else you want to add about public versus private fishing, Jani?
Well, first of all the the brown trout spots are private, but some of the spots are like the place that you just go to internet and buy this 20 euro ticket per day. So they could be really crowded. Our place is more like only our clients are fishing here. But first of all are private. You cannot go any brown trout place for free, and you have to pre-book that place for you. But some of them are like there could be like 12, 20 people who doesn't know each other. But when you go to our place, they're only our clients. And most of the best spots like this we have. I know like Läsäkoski, Äyskoski, Vihavuodenkoski. Those names didn't say anything for you, but those are the spots also like our place. But the main difference with our place is that we have like 10 miles worth of waters.
Oh, 10 miles.
Yeah. So they have like the other places are like they have like this half-mile stretch or less.
I got you.
Yeah. So that's why this is like the TroutLand.
All right. And these are, Jani, these are all wild fish, correct?
Yeah, they're native trout.
Native trout. So brown trout are native in central Finland.
Yeah. Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Is it a different species? Because I've always heard of the Scottish brown trout and the German brown trout. Is there a different?
I think it's if you check the DNA, there's hundreds of brown trouts in the world. I'm not sure. We have this Rautalampi waterway brown trout here, but Of course, there is some trout you can recognize, because in Finland, if you put some brown trout in the water, you have to, take the adipose fin off.
Okay.
Even when it's like a 1-year-old fish, you take the adipose fin off, so you will recognize if it's native or is it stocked. And what we do here sometimes, occasionally, we put some, fries, like not fries, but fish eggs. So we do some, fish eggs, and also we do some, the other fries, which are, they born like week ago. Sometimes we do that, we put like
Little fry in. Okay.
frying. Yeah, we do that sometimes, but mostly eggs. But I would say that if you hook up, 10 brown trout here, 9 out of 10 are native.
Okay, interesting. Do you have seasons there in terms of like there's hatches and emergence periods of different types of bugs? Tell me about that a little bit.
Well, I would say we do have this early stonefly hatch, which happens late March, mid-April. But that's for an example, we don't keep the waters open for that. But some spots, some places they keep, because you can do dry fly fishing in the middle of winter. So that's pretty neat. But it's so hard, because you have to be basically local to to be there, because you can't say when that happens. But for some fly fishing, that's the best season of the year.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Anyway, but we don't keep the waters open for that, because it's so hard to tell when it's happening. But we do have mayflies, and our main thing is caddisflies. And but the thing that what we are most famous are, we do have this baitfish hatch. When the small baitfish enters the rivers, then the magic will happen, because these big brown trouts, the 25-30 inch fish, when they start to hunt these baitfish, that's the best fly fishing for trout you can ever imagine.
Oh my gosh.
Even this day, I get so excited about it. That happens usually in early June, mid-June, and that keeps going for a month or even 2 months. It's like, but the June is the main month for that. That happens also in July, sometimes August, but then the fishing turns like late June. The fishing could be like evening, session is like, first you see the brown trout are feeding, they're, hunting these bait fish, and you start casting with the big streamers, and we have these surfboards, these foam flies, and which is like a dry fly, but it's not. Anyway, it's you start getting these fish. You hook fish with that, and then you still see the fish are jumping, they're rising, they after for something, and the seagulls, the birds are there, but they don't take the fly anymore, and something strange happens. They change their menu. They change all of a sudden they're going for appetizer, and not from the appetizers to desserts, and they start feeding on caddisflies or pupas.
Even though the minnows are still in the water, they switch over to caddisflies.
For some reason.
Huh.
Many times that's a little bit frustrating, because sometimes you have your 7-8 weight rod with you, you don't have any dry flies with you, and you were supposed to go for small flies, and so small, like size 10, 12, 14 caddis flies, and you have like this 7-8 weight rod with the thick
what do you
leaders.
do now? Right.
Yeah. Let's go back to the lodge. Luckily I usually carry one with me for the client, or the other guides also, they carry their second set for that kind of situations. But anyway, that would sometimes happen, actually pretty often in mid late June.
Okay.
And when it goes to July and August, then the fishing is like it's good with nymphs, good with dry flies, and evening is very good with big streamers. But it's not so much anymore only the bait fish. It goes, they start to eat more these dry flies and nymphs, and I think, and also because the water levels goes down. It's we don't have that much water usually in July anymore, and especially in August. So in August, it could be very good dry fly fishing. It's awesome. You hook these 25-inch 20-25 inch fish with the dry flies.
That's fun.
And when they're native, they're wild, they go fast. They go really fast.
That's great. Jani, what's a typical day for your clients, say in June, July, and then maybe in August?
Well, it depends, because some of the clients are very happy after 2 fish. But
Not me.
let's yeah, let's have a Steve here who's eager to get
All day,
a lot
man.
of fish. Then all day, all night. Then it's a normal day. It's pretty normal. The 4, 5, 6 average 20-inch fish, then maybe 125-inch, and if you're lucky, at midnight you will hook 30-inch fish.
Is that right? 30-inch, that's a possibility.
Actually, with the 30-inch fish, then it's like it's better than average day.
That would be a better than average day. Okay.
Yeah. The biggest fish every year are like 30, 35-inch.
Really? 30, 35-inch brown trout. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, they are the biggest every season, and the bigger than that usually could get away. The average fish is 20-inch. That's the normal fish. That's like we don't take pictures.
Is that right?
But,
wow.
Yeah, and every day we hook 25-inch fish.
Yeah.
Every day.
I was in Pennsylvania last week, and that's some fantastic fishing. I was on Penns Creek, and I was talking to some guides that were out fishing on their own, and they were really excited because one of them caught 2 18-inch brown trout on Penns Creek, and it was everyone in the lodge was like, "Wow, that's fantastic! What were you doing?" And you're really raising the bar over there if the 20-inch fish is kind of average.
Yeah. And in the beginning, I was mentioned that this is very similar to Russian fishing, the Kota Peninsula fishing.
Yeah.
The one thing that we are better than Russians, well, the safety is that we are better in safety in here
than
like Russians. But also the fish are bigger here. The fish are bigger here than, for an example, the Varsina brown trout camp. They have more fish, and the bigger, the more fish, water to fish, but the biggest fish are bigger here than in Russia. So that's at least one fishing thing that we are absolutely, without a doubt.
All right. So tell me about this surfboard streamer thing. What is that all about? What is that?
That's my favorite fly, because as a guide, you see a lot of action with that fly. You see the jump. Sometimes the brown trout, they jump for it, and they don't even try to take it. So it's easy to locate a fish with that. But that imitates the bait fish, and it could be like from this size.
And for people that aren't on YouTube, Jani was just doing about 2 inches to about 8 inches, I would say, in size. And so they got a piece of foam. It's a streamer with a piece of foam over the back.
It's like a tinsel streamer. This flashaboo. It could be silvery, it could be black, it could be golden, but flashaboo. And then you put the foam top of it so it doesn't sink. And then there's a couple of techniques to use. The one is just a fish like a normal dry fly. You know where the fish are. You cast upstream a little bit, 45 degrees maybe upstream, and do the dead drift.
Huh.
Don't let it swing, just a dead drift, and that's usually the best. That's usually the best technique, and because it imitates the dead or wounded, the bait fish.
Stunned.
Yeah. And other technique is, make it, some move, create an attractor. Attractor. I don't know, did I say it right? But anyway, let it swing. And sometimes that's good, but it's like basically 2 different technique that, you will survive. Like I had this, I have a funny story is, I began friends with one of the fishing guides at the Keys, this Jamie. And actually Jamie came here last summer fishing, and I've been fishing 3 times with him in at the Keys. And so he's not a trout fisherman, he's a tarpon guide.
Yeah.
And I put him actually to the president's place, one spot. I knew that was a good spot. The river, it's I think 2-3 days without fishing. The river was well rested before, and he went there, and I think he was fishing with that surfboard first he looked at it. Oh, that's well, we have the similars for baby tarpons. And anyway, but he cast. I think he jumped like 11 to 12 fish. Like, oh, what I'm doing wrong? And he didn't, because he every time when the fish jumped, he took the fly out of the before, because usually the trout, when it jumps for it, it doesn't jump like this. It goes like, and when it's going down,
it hits on the way down. Okay.
Yeah, many times that happened, and that evening especially that happens a lot. So every time he didn't wait long enough, so he missed. I think it was like 11 or 12 fish that he finally hooked
before he hooked one.
Yeah, and that was like 25-inch plus fish, and he was happy.
I'll bet he was. Oh my gosh! So on your Instagram, Jani, there's a video that you actually let me repost on mine. It was baitfish jumping and trout jumping after them, and it's a scene that I've never seen here in the States with these baitfish. And so the baitfish are actually in the surface; they're not down low.
Yeah, they're on the surface. Yeah, and that's the baitfish hatch I'm talking about.
The baitfish hatch, yeah.
Yeah, that's they interest some of the baitfish. They come to the rivers, they feed them there, and some of them they come for spawning.
Okay.
And these big trout they're following.
Yeah.
They love those baitfish.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And when you see that's happening, you see these trouts are hunting for them. And you have to be there. It doesn't matter if your casting is not that well.
Yeah.
If you don't cast that well, it's you just put your fly there somehow, and fingers crossed that it will hit your fly, not the small,
You're
the real
gonna hook up.
Yeah.
So what kind of leaders and tippets are you using?
Well, we go in with that kind of fishing. We go in kind of thick, like I don't know about access, but it's 0.40 millimeters, 0.35 millimeters for streamer fishing. So you have to be strong, because the current is kind of strong and the fish, they are strong. If you hook like a 25-inch native brown trout, they go pretty fast. They are kind of strong.
They take off.
Yeah, they know all the rocks and all the trees in the river, so they are not cooperating.
Yeah, is that right? They know how to rub you off a little bit, huh?
Yeah, and for the dry flies, I use 0.24, 0.22, but that's like that's hard sometimes when you hook like this. But when they are feeding when they're eating these caddis flies, if they are like on the mood, you don't have to go with the 2-tin. And actually, we are banned. It's not allowed to use 2-tin leaders here as well. The tippet has to be strong enough to hold the fish.
Okay. So you're using 7-8 weight rods on these streamers?
Yeah, I use for streamers 7. I like 7. Some of our guides like 8, but for me 7 is good. 7, 9-foot 7, and I used to love some G Loomis rods, but now I also use these guideline rods. They're both very well. My favorite rods are those two brands. And for dry flies, when the water is low, you can go with the 5 weight, but I don't ever use 5 weight here. I use 6.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, 6 for dry flies and 6 for nymphs and these pupas and something like that. And also some people like this 10 feet, 10 foot.
Yeah.
10 foot rod. But I like 9. I'm classic.
A 9
classic dude. Yeah.
Jani, you were telling me a couple of weeks ago when we first talked about you had a really great story about might have happened years ago where you were capsized a boat, had a rod in your mouth or something, and still.
Yeah. It was in Finland we have this midsummer party, which is like end of June, and also that's very good season for brown trout. And we rented a cottage with my friends, and I arranged the cottage that of course I was younger. I was like 20 something, and I made sure that the cottage this cabin is close to the river. So the other ones were, I think it was second day or something. The other ones was drinking beer, having fun, going. It was just celebration. It was a big, fest, and I took my rod and I went to fishing, and I went fishing, and I remember back in the day it was, everyone could hire a boat, to rent a boat for themselves, and I had a boat. I was alone, and I was in the, at the outflow of the river system, and of course when I made a cast, I didn't have any anchor or anything like that.
Yeah.
I made a cast, and I had to strip the fly, and at the same time the boat was always going down the river, of course with current, and I made strips, and then I put the rod in my mouth and row back up.
With the fish on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah, and I remember I was very close to the edge of the of the hard water, and I put the rod in my mouth, and first it felt like I'm gonna lose my teeth, because it was like a 25-inch fresh silvery brown trout from the lake, to make the long story short, and that was the one of the most memorable. My mouth doesn't turn to that word, but I never forget that fish. And my friends was like, and back in the day, I also sometimes we did kill the fish. We don't kill the brown trout anymore here, but that was like 20 something years ago, and even then I did a lot of catch and release. But of course I was young, and I needed to show off a little bit for the friends, so I took that fish and I bring it to the cottage, and everybody was, wow, holy shit, you're crazy. Everybody is here drinking beer, and you went fishing, and you brought that fish for us, and you're the best, Jani. Yeah, thank you. And then we ate the fish, and everybody was so happy, and everybody kept talking about that
That's great.
for the whole week. And but yeah, it was fish. I remember I have somewhere the picture of that fish.
Oh, you got to send that to me.
I tried. It's not digital. It's old school picture.
But take a picture of it.
I will. If I find it, I will. It's a fish is so nice. I feel bad about it.
That and that surfboard streamer. I'd love to see a picture of that too.
Yeah, I will. I will send some. Yeah.
Got to see that. All right. So, how did you end up as a fishing guide in TroutLand, Finland, and owning a lodge? How did this come about?
Do you want to? Well, I try to make it short. I was about to ask that. Do you want to have a long story or short story?
Well, we only got a few more minutes, so let's better.
Yeah, short story. Well, when I was actually around that time that I, that latest story about that fish with the rod in my mouth, I was working at the company, doing marketing for magazines, and I was doing so much fishing in these rivers, and I was thinking about that. This my daily job it's very bad for my fishing. And then I almost this fishing is even more bad to my daily job. Like it doesn't, it's not the match made in heaven. So then I read from the paper that they are putting together this fishing guide school for fishing guides, that you want to go, if you want to be a fishing guide, you have to go 1 year school. That was 99.
1 year school.
Yeah, 1 year school.
Wow.
So I went there. I had to drive 100 miles every morning, every afternoon for that, and I did it for 1 year, and then I was like 24, 25, and then I was actually in two years from that. I was full-time guide, and then I decided that when I'm 30, when I'm 30 years old, I need to make good living out of it. Otherwise, I will quit. Well, and then I don't know. I'm still here.
You're still here.
I'm still here, and then kind of like an accident. We opened this like 5 years ago. We opened another lodge, and then like a year ago, we found this lodge that this is for sale. And one thing led to another, and now we have this, because we were leasing this old lodge, and now this lodge is our own. We bought this one.
Nice.
So
that's wonderful.
And it seems to be okay. I'm very excited about this coming summer. We have a lot of bookings, but I don't know. I don't know what the future will bring. We have bookings for 25 also. We have like over 20 rods sold for 25, so it's looking good. And I have a long-term plan that I have a dream, not a plan, but I want to go to this, this New Jersey fair
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
what is
Sure.
fly fishing show.
Yep.
You been there?
I have not, but it's a big one. Yep.
Yeah, I want to go there, and if it's possible, I want to promote our area there, and maybe the Colorado one as well.
Yeah, that'd be good, I'm sure. All right, so what's it like growing up in Finland? What was your childhood like?
Very, very easy.
Huh.
It's because it's easy, and especially in 80s was like a very very good time for Finland. It's the country we were growing, and we were, everybody had to work, and it was safe time, and yeah, and we don't have, the biggest difference between my childhood and probably your childhood was that when I was young, we had like 3 TV channels, and
Same here. Yep.
you did?
Oh yeah, four.
Okay,
We only had
okay.
4.
Okay, yeah. So I think in 90s or late 90s, then now we have this like 40, but you have like 400.
Like
I know
hundreds.
that.
Yeah, like way too many.
Yeah,
I don't even watch TV.
yeah. But we had we had all the same stuff. I grew up listening Van Halen and Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses.
Is that right?
Like
Oh my gosh.
yeah, like everybody in the 80s, and I still like some of them. And
Huh. How did you learn to your English is so good. Did you take years and years of English in school, or did you learn from, how did you learn?
well, everybody learns some English. Everybody in Finland learn from school, but I think I learned from my English from I keep reading these Van Halen lyrics.
All right, from Eddie Van Halen. Then there you go.
Well, mostly David Roth, but
Yeah.
anyway, and maybe some Motley Crue or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
But I also spent a few months when I was like 20 something. I spent upstate New York. I was working at the kids camp, these summer camps that they have for the kids. Because when I went in Finland, we have this mandatory military, so you have to go to army. Every man has to go to army.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I was 11 months in the army, and I was a little bit frustrated because of that. I didn't really enjoy my time there, because when you're like 20, or I was 19 then, they will take your freedom, and you have to be there 11 months. Of course, every other weekend you get to go home, but
Yeah.
anyway, I was weekend. I was in this, I was at the service, so to speak, and I went to the, this cafeteria, at the base cafeteria, and I saw Helsinki Sanomat, which is like Finnish New York Times, and they were looking for camp counselors to US, and no way, I will phone there, and well, I phoned there, and hey, I'm Jani, I'm still in the army, but I would love to come. I get released like in June. After that, I'm ready to come. And then I went to one interview in Helsinki, and they, after like 1 week, they phoned me that, oh, welcome, we will send you tickets. And then I
Really?
spent a few months.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I spent like, I think 2 months at the camp, and then I spent like maybe 2 months. I was traveling across, East Coast, from Montreal to Washington to Ottawa to, well, I don't even remember where I went.
Up and
Philadelphia,
down.
I went there, and yeah, but it was mostly I was traveling with Greyhound, so
Yeah. Okay. The slow way.
I wasn't staying at Hilton.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you. All right. So tell me some of the people that inspired you along the way.
Of course, you have to always say your dad, like my dad,
Yeah. Why your dad? What was inspiring?
because he's my dad. He's my role model. He was a salesman as like me, and but yeah, that's the first thing came to my mind, and also my granddad, who I didn't know because I was 3 year old when he drowned. He drowned
Oh.
when he was fishing.
Oh
He
my
was
gosh.
fishing one of these rapids here, so
Oh my gosh.
he
Really?
drowned there. Yeah, I had sad stories like my mother. He was my mother's father. So when I was teenager, my mother and her siblings, they didn't let me go fishing to that river at all
Oh,
because there was
yeah.
our dad drowned there. We don't want to,
We're not going to go there. Yeah.
yeah, you're not going there. And I had to tell you that I went there for secretly because it's a damn good river.
Yeah.
So I went there, but yeah, well, I think in somehow he inspired me, even though I don't remember him that well because he drowned when I was so young. Um, but he was a fisherman, and he was a fly fisherman.
Ah,
First of all, he was a fly fisherman, and he went for when he get from the work, on Friday, he would drive like 1,000 kilometers with his Volkswagen Beetle to Lapland to fish for Atlantic salmon, and then he drove back Sunday evening straight to work Monday morning
oh my gosh.
without sleep, and he was crazy fly fisherman.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, he's my idol.
Is he? Oh, good for you. Tell me about the food in Finland and the food at the lodge.
Yeah, well, I'm a food lover, and
So am
we
I.
do. Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
and we try to serve like from the farm or forest to like from forest to table or from lake to table or from farm to table.
Sure.
We try to avoid the supermarkets. So we are making good food. We are not making fancy food, even though we are serving some, reindeer fillet, something like that.
Reindeer.
But reindeer fillet, that's
Reindeer fillet. Is that a good reindeer fillet is pretty good, huh?
it's pretty good. It's Rudolph's fillet.
Okay. Without the red nose.
That's good. But red nose fillet, and that's I would say that's the that's the only meat that's further than 25 miles from the lodge. All the other meat is from the area. We serve mushrooms a lot, which are from our yard. We serve fish, which are from the lake. We try to keep it very close, very like a organic and very healthy food. And we cook everything ourselves in the kitchen, in the lodge, and because we love good food with my wife, so we want to serve good food for our clients and
Yeah.
guests as well. So that's one of our main principles.
Okay. What about when you're out with a client during the day? We call them shore lunches here in the States. That's just a lunch. What do you serve your clients for lunch? What's a great shore lunch?
Well, we have two options. Sometimes we do the salmon soup or actually trout soup, which is we have a very close by. We have one trout farm where they do farming trout. We are not killing these trout.
Okay. All right.
We are eating farming trout, but we have this trout soup, creamy trout soup that's easy to cook on the shore, and most people are so eager to fish, maybe like you, Steve, that they don't have time to have shore lunch. They have some sandwiches which we create here at the lodge for them to pick up. And for an example, we have this because we have especially in June, July, the best fishing is evenings. It's like from 8 p.m. till 11 p.m.
Because it stays light so late there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's 24-hour light in June.
Oh, wow.
We don't have we have the midnight sun here actually it doesn't get dark from basically from late May till mid July.
Huh. Okay.
I'm done. But anyway, it's like 9, 10, 11. Well, actually, the dinner time, it's the best fishing time. So what we do here when we have these weekly programs that we have like 6 days fishing stays there, these stayers that they bought the packets that they're going to stay like 6 days fishing and, 6 nights at the lodge. When we're supposed to have lunch, like 1, 2 p.m., we have a 3-course dinner, which is, supposed to be at the dinner time.
Yeah, right.
So we have heavy lunch like appetizers and then the main dish and the desserts. And then we have small rest, 1, 2, 3 hour rest. And then we go to the river at the evening.
Yeah.
We take some lunch with us to the river, or we make some, some salmon soup or something easy on the river bank.
Cool.
Or some deer stew or something easy, but we skip it. And then the next day the the breakfast, we like to serve the late breakfast, like 10 a.m.
Oh,
because people are pretty tired after. Some people come to the lodge like 2 a.m. Or something like
is that right?
So
Okay. Fish all night.
fish all night.
All right. So, Jani, as we're signing off here, what's the number one thing that you want people to know about TroutLand?
Well, big trout, easy to get from, especially from East Coast US. It's like 7-hour flight from New York City from JFK. It's 7 hour about. Easy to get here from US. Safe country. So everything is very similar to US. We have the culture. Finland is very American country.
Huh.
We are.
They
Yeah.
listen to Van Halen.
Yeah, we listen to Van Halen, of course. And we get to NATO as well. We are now in NATO country as well. But big trout. Yeah, big trout, and the rivers are not crowded. The
Yeah.
privacy, big trout, and not to forget sauna. Finnish sauna is the number one thing in Finland.
A sauna. Okay.
Finnish.
Gotcha.
I go 5 times a week, maybe 6 times a week to sauna.
That's why you're so happy. That must be it.
Yeah, that's why we are the happiest country in the world.
got
because we
saunas.
have the sauna. We have sauna.
Man.
That's the reason. I would say that's the reason.
There you go.
Sauna and Loncaro. That's the two best things.
Sauna and what?
Can you say Loncaro?
No, what is Loncaro? What is it?
Loncaro is the official drink of Finnish fly fishermen, I would say.
What is that drink?
Well, that's actually, it's like a beer, but it's not beer. It's like seltzer, a little bit like seltzer.
Huh. Loncaro. All right.
Loncaro, Finland drink. It's made for Finnish Olympics in 1952, when they think that in Helsinki we held the Olympics in 1952.
Yeah, right. I remember that.
They didn't want to serve only beer, so they invented this gin drink, which we call Loncaro.
Huh.
And that's maybe the most. Beer and Loncaro are the drinks that Finnish fly fishermen tend to drink.
No kidding. All right. Well, there you go, folks. Some good reasons to give Jani a call and book a trip to Finland. And it's also, I notice your prices are really reasonable compared to a lot of the lodges like in Alaska and Argentina and places like that. You're really reasonable.
Yeah. I think with the flights you can get here like, depending where you're flying from, but easily, below $5,000, like 4 or 5 grand with the flights, and you'll be here.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Jani, thanks for being on the show. It was awesome.
It was my pleasure, and I was really happy to talk to you.
Yeah.
Really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, how can people get in touch with you?
TroutLand.fi. I think you can find us on Instagram. It's Brown TroutLand, and Kellankoski.fi as well.
Okay. Kellankoski is the name of the lodge.
Kellankoski, name of the lodge, and I think TroutLand.com might work as well. I'm not sure.
Okay,
I need to check.
What's your email?
Jani@kapenkoski.com, or you can use info@kellankoski.fi. But I think I will send those for you.
Okay, send them on over. That and some pictures of those your top flight pics. We'd love to see those. People like those. We throw those up on Instagram. Well, Jani, I wish you extraordinary success in all your adventures to follow. I'm sure there will be many. And folks, thank you for listening. And we'll post Jani's contact info on our Destination Angler show notes and pictures of these amazing fish and this amazing place on Facebook and Instagram. As always, you can DM me or email me with comments and suggestions at shaig@destinationanglerpodcast.com. If you like the show, please share it with a buddy. That's how we get the word out, folks. Our music is by Brothers Fountain. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you again soon. Tight lines, everyone.
Well, I'll go from the land to the shining sea. But I know there's more to life than what the eye can see.